Hello everybody, LegoBoys3 here. Today I'm going to show you how to take apart and reassemble the Oscar's treasure chest. So I like to assemble this in 4 parts. This lid, this part, the center part, and this part. So let's get started. So you may be using this tutorial if you took yours apart and can't figure out how to get it back together, or if you just want to go inside and look at the mechanism. So I'll show you how to do that now. To start, of course, you'll need to have it solved. There's no other way to take it apart if it's not solved. You just take off the lid of it, just like this, and then you can slide one of these rows off, slide each of these pieces off, and as you can tell, none of these pieces can be pulled apart from each other, they just have to be slid apart. And so we can slide these off from each other too, each of these, and for this demonstration I'm going to be separating each group of the ones that I'm going to be assembling. And so now we are going to be taking these off. So you just slide it like this, and then you see it wants to go onto that rail like that, but you don't want it to go like that. And so you actually have to get it to go off of that. And so you have to kind of pull it apart, and then it will come apart and just come off separately. And again, each of these little pieces just comes off, just like this. Then, for this next piece, it'll just slide off. You may want to take one of these pieces off, it can make it easier. And these pieces all slide off from each other again. And then these pieces slide off from each other too. So now that we have disassembled everything, we can start reassembling them. I'm going to start with one of those bottom sections. So, once you get all the pieces, I recommend that you putting it together solved, because if it's not solved you won't be able to get the cap back on, so yeah, that would be a problem. So if you want, you can actually follow along with the same colors that I'm using. So this is the green and red, and I'll just slide these two together, just like this, and then another green and red one slides right on there like that, and we have a set just like this. And then we'll make a set that has a center in it by getting a green one, sliding in the green, sliding in the green. And it's really that easy. You just have to make sure that it goes right in there, just like, oops, just like that. And now we will grab these two sets, just like this, and make sure that these colors are the same, just like this. And we will slide these two onto each other. And don't make it like 90 degrees, put it actually a little bit more than that, so it can actually slide on, just like that. And then they will just slide onto each other, and they'll lock together. And now we will be doing the exact same thing for the other part that looks like this, only it's going to be blue right here. Okay, once you have both of those ones, they will go up opposite from each other when you're assembling it. And now you take the middle layer that will go in between them, and this is the one that has the 3 centers in them. And you take the yellow center, which will be on the bottom, and you slide in one of the edges, just like this, and slide in the other one. That's the same as you've already done. And then, it's really easy, you just slide in one of the centers. And actually for this, oops, I'm only going to put in one of the centers, because as you saw, I took off one of the centers before I took apart the rest of this, and so I'm going to put on this last, And now, for putting this bottom layer together, we are going to be grabbing one of these parts, and the bottom will be on the bottom just like that. And we'll grab the other part, spin it around so the colors all match up, and then I'll be sticking off this one in that doesn't have the piece on first, so it may be a bit difficult at first, but just as you can see on the bottom, you slide it in, and then just slide everything around up into there, just like that. And now we can grab the other part and do the exact same thing for that one. Just slide it in just like that. And for this last one, if you still have it undone like me, you can just move this middle layer like this and slide it in just like that. It may take a bit of work. And now, for assembling the lid back together, you're going to make one of those sections that's just 2x3 like you did before, and then just adding a little 1x3 section onto it. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. Okay, now we have this little 1x3 part and this 2x3 part, like I said, and just like we've done before, just slide it on like that. And now we can just assemble it like we have done before and just put the lid on. So basically that's it. That's how to assemble and reassemble the Oscar's treasure chest cube. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below, and goodbye. Oh, and orange pizza.